We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Josh Downs, North Carolina wide receiver, entering the 2023 NFL Draft. And if your team is looking for an explosive slot wide receiver, look no further than Downs. Most of his production at North Carolina came from working vertically from the slot. Not a lot of vertical slot threats. Most of them work middle of the field, those types of things. But Downs, very good after the catch, getting him the ball quickly and being that vertical threat for sure. He's a good route runner. Good anticipation after the catch as well. And usually when it comes to smaller guys, your biggest issue is how are they at the catch point? But that's actually one of Downs' biggest strengths. He's got great ball skills. His tracking ability is top notch, and he has really good ability to adjust, make contested catches. Not something that you see from a lot of smaller guys. That's why I have a lot of faith in him to succeed at the next level. And another thing with smaller guys, you're worried about their physicality, their play strength. He's not the strongest guy. He's not the most physical, but he is still willing to take some hits. He's got some durability to him. It's not something that I'm super concerned about. It's not just a major issue. So let's get right down into breaking his film. First clip, we're going to show we got Josh Downs in the slot. And we get to see him working vertically here. One of his favorite moves, working the crossover here. He likes to turn those DBs around. He's very good at manipulating and then finishing at the catch point. The full extension, his tracking ability is really impressive. So in the slot, we'll watch him manipulate this DB. He sees him working inside leverage right here over the top. He has all this room. This is where he's at his best, where he can build up momentum, getting like this off man or deep zone type of coverage zone match. And he slows down, starts to peek to the outside, and then give them this hard cut to the inside, making this DB lull him to sleep like, oh, I'm going to hard break outside, go to the inside. But they gives him a hard cut to the outside, breaks on the slot fade, gets him turned around, and then he maintains his speed through the catch point the whole time, and then finishes with a big vertical catch. Really impressive work from Downs. Like, usually not something that you see a lot of smaller guys. This is where you can see how good his tracking ability is. He maintains his speed the whole time and then tracks over the shoulder, full extension, body control, really impressive in air, and then finishes at the catch point, secures the ball, gets down to the 1 yard line. Really impressive play from Josh Downs. Watch his feet here at the catch point. He slows down, and look how he repositions his body to work upfield. Right before he catches it, he flips his hips vertical up the field. He points this right toe, so as he catches it, he shifts all his momentum up the field. Like, this is how you become a really good yards after catch player at the next level, because you can't just be an explosive athlete and expect to like make a bunch of NFL players miss. You got to be able to do these little nuances to just maximize your chances of working after the catch. And then he just instantly accelerates out of that positioning, something that you just don't see many college wide receivers doing, that little things like that, the fluidity in his base too, but just the repositioning of his body to flip his momentum upfield. Really impressive nuance from Josh Downs' game right there. Here's Downs in the slot, this time working vertically, but on a deep post. He gets another opportunity to work on a deep safety, and he just loves working in those momentums, and he makes another outstanding highlight reel catch. It's kind of tough to see from this angle, but he gets inbounds in that play. But he likes to slow it down. He works vertically, accelerates, and then he starts to slow down, manipulate that route pace variation, makes it very difficult for DBs to guess what you're going to do when you change up your pace like this. And then he gives those hard step inside, outside. He loves using those pressure steps. He loves that crossover, and he just gets these DBs turned around. And then he accelerates through the catch point, tracks it all the way through, dives again, and then lands inbound and he secures it. No bobble or anything like that. He makes everything look easy at the catch point. He kind of gives me Tyler Lockett vibes because they're both pretty similar sizes, and they're both really good at the catch point, really good downfield tracking. I think, Lockett is obviously a little more advanced, a little higher football IQ. He's played much longer. But I do think Downs is also better after the catch too. But one of these guys, Downs, probably see him going in that like early second round area if I had to guess. It's a weaker wide receiver class at the top, so I guess he could sneak into the late first if a team really likes him. But if I had to guess, he probably goes somewhere in the second round just because he's a smaller slot guy. But he just gives you so much dynamic athleticism to your offense. Kind of similar to the last play, getting him lined up in the slot, and you just get him this leverage advantage where he can just attack this middle of the field safety and give him a two-way go. Usually with these slot guys, you work in the slot and you have so much more room to work with. Like, things can be a little more contested in here, but when you get a little bit of space, you can break on any angle, and he gives him this where he could break to the deep corner. He starts to re-stem vertically. He attacked 29's leverage. I think that's 29. Attacks his leverage and then starts to re-stem vertically. And this gets the DB to open up his hips, and then he breaks to his blind spot. He has some nice lower body flexion to make those transitions, those route breaks. And then, he never slows down at the catch point too, which is a good indicator of how good his tracking ability is. Never slows down, catches it in stride, gets tackled around the feet this time, but just another impressive play from Downs. This is probably my favorite play that I saw watching Josh Downs. He doesn't actually get the ball on this one, but obviously, man-to-man, the guy follows him out of the motion, and he just sends this Notre Dame DB to a different dimension. He sends him to the shadow realm, honestly. He gets this build-up momentum on the speed here. He starts to slow it down, change up the pace. Love the pace variation. This is how you lull the DBs to sleep. And then he starts to hit a foot fire once he's eaten up the cushion, and he just breaks this DB's ankle and creates all that separation. Doesn't get the ball, unfortunately, because the quarterback's looking to the other side of the field. But just look at him, foot fire there, hard stab that left foot, and that guy's out of there. All this separation, over 5 yards of separation. Here we got him in the slot versus Notre Dame, 2022 actually. The last one was 2021. But this year, I like to just see him working on the fly, because this kind of gets messed up here. He's supposed to work on a rub route, and the timing's off. I don't know why it gets all blurry there late in the video, but just how it was when I received it. But here, he's trying to work off the rub, so he gets too close to his receiver here. The timing, the spacing's off. So then he has to work off of it. All of his momentum stopped, and he's still able to give this wiggle. He has really loose hips to still create separation out of like no momentum at all on this DB. He squares him up completely. Look at his pace right here, and then hard explosive off of this. Get to the back of the end zone, the fade, go up, attack the ball at the catch point. Good sideline awareness as well to get 2 feet in bounds. He can make these catches down in the red zone. He can create separation. If it's tight, he can go up and get it. He plays bigger than his size. This play, nothing too crazy. Just want to show his anticipation after the catch, because last time I showed how he repositioned his body to shift his momentum upfield, but this time it's a little bit different because the DBs are a lot closer, and if he shifts his momentum upfield, he's probably just going to go right into the DB. But here he catches it and is already making a move back to the inside, because he feels this DB's momentum coming to his outside hip, and he knows he can anticipate this, break back to the inside, run through an arm tackle, show off a little bit of contact balance. He always keeps his feet beneath him. He's not the strongest guy, but he loves to keep his feet beneath him, and he has really active, quick feet, good balance. I mean, he's not going to, be some amazing physical specimen at the next level, running people over, that type of thing, but he has enough there where I think he can succeed. Here we get to see him work more of a traditional slot route, getting him lined up in bunches, working just an option route, almost turns into like this angle Texas type of thing with how close he is to the backfield, but he works his momentum and timing well here because he allows those routes to develop, slows this stuff down, and he just has all this space. And since he's floating to the outside very slowly, this DB resets his leverage. So he's just manipulating DBs, dictating these routes and these coverages, making them reset the leverage, and then gets all this separation, catches the ball, and you can see the acceleration after the catch to finish for a touchdown. Another play with Downs in the slot, like he played mostly slot at North Carolina. He will very rarely, I think, play on the outside, maybe in 2 receiver sets where you have to be on the outside. If he's out there, he'll play that, but mostly just down in the slot. This play doesn't seem like anything too crazy, but I just like his recovery here, because first, he slips out of his route break, but is able to instantly recover this, shows off some nice body control and balance to recover, keep his feet beneath him, and then now he's kind of slipped out of his route break. The ball is coming. A lot of times receivers panic, and the ball is not perfectly thrown. It's thrown on his other shoulder, and he perfectly just flips his hips. This is a good way to show off ball skills. If a receiver can stay comfortable and just easily flip their hips and catch the ball smoothly like this, it shows off how fluid they are. First of all, their hip fluidity is very important for wide receivers, and how good their ball skills tracking is, how comfortable they are catching the football, because a lot of times when players have to flip their hips like this, drops end up happening, but Downs just super smooth at the catch point. Last play that I'm going to break down, we got Downs in the slot again. We get to see him working vertically, working a nice job here to beat the linebacker instantly. We'll go back, break this down a little more slowly, but look at him avoid the reroute here. He dips around, dips his shoulders, doesn't want to be thrown off his timing of his route, so he just dips around, doesn't get too far off his landmark here. He widens a little bit, but it's not enough to where, like, usually if this guy gets your hands on, you're a smaller guy, it's going to slow you down too much, disrupt the route timing, and then he bends this back to the inside to get up, eat the cushion of this safety, eat up the leverage, And then once he's done that, just hard, explosive, accelerate behind him, stack over the top, and then just track it. You can see the tracking happening live. Look at his angle adjust here. It happens to go more vertically. He readjusts, and then at the catch point, pulls it in, gets that knee down. That's 2 feet. That's a touchdown in the NFL. So really nice tracking ability down the field. Like I've been saying all the whole video, he's a really nice player. Like, he does everything you expect a smaller slot wide receiver to do with his athleticism, his ability after the catch. That's usually what you're expecting from a smaller slot guy. But it's just his ability down the field and then to make contested catches with really nice ball skills. Not something that you're going to see from a ton of smaller slot guys. And I think that's what sort of makes him special and gives me a lot of confidence that he's going to succeed at the next level. Lots of teams could use him. Let me know down in the comments which team you're looking for him to go to. Really enjoyed this video. I love Josh Downs. He's one of my favorite NFL draft prospects this year in 2023. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.